Musiala is being linked with a move to Manchester City. Now, he's been getting linked there a lot the last 6 months. And what's actually crazy is I can see this deal happening. Now, he's at Bayern Munich, arguably the biggest club in the world, right? Bayern Munich, aside from Real Madrid, have the highest standards in world football. And if you're at Bayern, generally, any other club that you go to after that is a downgrade. But I'm going to tell you guys something right now. There's 2 teams right now that I think can take a player off of Bayern. And that's Real Madrid. And the second is Manchester City. Now, the reports are saying that they're looking at Musiala as a possible Kevin De Bruyne replacement. And I don't think he's a De Bruyne replacement. Because to me, he's better than Kevin De Bruyne. KDB might be one of the most overrated players that I've ever seen. This guy is more of a distraction. He's more of a liability to Man City at the current moment than he is to actually helping them. He's not a big game player anymore, right? You're seeing him get taken off in the Champions League against Real Madrid, the second leg, 60th minute, hooked. FA Cup final against Man United, hooked. He's always injured. He doesn't track back. Yes, he's a great passer of the ball, right? He puts a nice ball into the box. He can cross the hell out of a ball as well. And he also has a decent shot on him. But I think Man City are past Kevin De Bruyne. And if I was them, I would cash in on him this summer. And I think Jamal Musiala, that would be the perfect guy to bring in. I think Musiala is him. I'm not going to me, Musiala is the best number 10 in the world. He is the best attacking midfielder in this sport. He's an absolute monster. And I think his potential is insane. Now, it would be a very expensive deal if Man City want to get this done. I'm talking about, you probably got to give Bayern maybe 120 to 130 million. I mean, I know that Musiala has a contract situation going on, right? His deal currently is going to expire, I think, in like 2026, right? So Bayern, they got to figure out what they want to do, because you don't want to end up in a situation where Musiala only has 1 year left on his deal and then you got to sell him for dirt cheap because you didn't get off of him fast enough, right? I mean, you're seeing them have the same issues with a few of their players right now. And I don't get what the hell the Bayern board are doing, right? Look at how many players that are currently at the club at the time of this recording whose contracts are running out. You got Alphonso Davies. He only has, 12 months left on his deal. Joshua Kimmich, 12 months left. Leroy Sané, 12 months left. I'm pretty sure there's a few other guys as well that I'm forgetting. But they have not handled these contract situations well. And I'm pretty sure they would have been offering Jamal Musiala extensions from a year or so ago, right? Because, again, to me, he has to be a player that's untouchable. Like Bayern, you can't sell him. But the reason I can see it happening, him going to Man City, is because why hasn't he signed a new deal yet? You guys let me know. Because if he really does want to be at Bayern Munich, right? And I'm not saying that he doesn't, but I'm more of a person that believes actions speak louder than words. Why the hell has he not signed a new deal yet? I remember some reports were saying that he wasn't getting along with Thomas Tuchel, because I remember Tuchel was benching him quite a few times as well. But if that's the case, Tuchel's out of there. Company is now in charge. So that's a fresh coach right there that I'm pretty sure is going to make you one of the focal points of the squad. Because to me, Musiala needs to be the player that Bayern Munich build around. You can't afford to lose him. And I know I was talking to my guy Zaire, Bayern fan, and he was saying that he's not really worried about Man City. But I think that's foolish, because Man City are one of the best run clubs in the world. They got Pep Guardiola. They're coming off of winning 4 straight Premier Leagues. They just did a treble the other season. They're attractive. And they have the money to spend. And they have the owners who are going to be ambitious. Musiala to Man City makes a lot of sense stylistically as well. He'd have that freedom in the midfield to be pulling the strings. But I really rate this guy, man. I'm telling you, Musiala's contract situation is one to watch out for. Because if he does not sign a deal throughout this season, Bayern Munich, you have to sell him. It would be a crime to lose this guy on a free. When I think if you sell him this summer, you could get 130 to maybe 150 M's. And I know it sucked to lose him. And I don't think he's going to leave Bayern. I actually think that he will end up signing a new deal. But they got to figure it out, and very fast. I don't know who the hell is in charge of the contracts at Bayern Munich, but I hope that he or she was fired. Because the amount of deals that are running down at that club that's putting them in a bad situation is despicable. It's criminal. It's awful. It's literally incompetence. And what I also want to say is, I think with Bayern not winning a trophy last season for the first time in God knows how long, they are going to have a lot of pressure on them next season. Now, I back Bayern Munich to win the Bundesliga next season. I think they're going to do the domestic double. I think there's no way in hell they go 2 seasons without lifting any kind of silverware. I refuse to believe it. You got Vincent Kompany there. And I actually think that Bayern are having a pretty good window. I think between them and Manchester United at the time of this recording, they're cooking, right? Like, they've brought in Michael Olise, right? You give João Paulinho through the door. You signed that defender from Stuttgart, even though he just got injured, right? They're also looking at bringing in Jonathan Tah. They're also working on some other deals as well. I think Bayern are going to be in for a pretty busy summer. And even though I do like the deals that they're doing so far, if you go ahead and sell Jamal Musiala, all that business that you just did means nothing, because you just lost arguably the next greatest player in the world, because that's his potential. He is a generational player. Now, again, I don't think he leaves Bayern Munich, but I think City are definitely a team that can turn his head and have him thinking about some things. But we'll see, because the reports are also saying, and I found this a bit weird, they said Jamal Musiala wants a team like what Jude Bellingham has at Real Madrid, where they can compete against each other for the Champions League every single season. And the reason that I found that report a little weird, and that came from Christian Falk, by the way, CF Bayern on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I found that weird because I'm like, he's at Bayern Munich. It doesn't get more elite than that. Again, they're right behind Real Madrid in terms of club standards. So, I mean, like, you're already at a team that wants to compete for the Champions League every single year. That usually do. Last season, Bayern Munich, everybody talked about how they were so shit. And then what they end up going on and doing, right? They didn't win a trophy, but they still made it to the Champions League semifinal. And it took Joselu coming off the bench and scoring a brace in 10 minutes for us to knock them out. So a lot of people disrespect Bayern Munich, but they are still a very serious club, and they have a very good team. You can't tell me that a team is shit when you got Manuel Neuer, who still looks like he's in his prime. You got Harry Kane, Jamal Musiala, Leroy Sané, Michael Olise, Joshua Kimmich, like all these big name players, Alphonso Davies. Come on now. And I knew that this summer they were going to respond. But Man City, they got to start to revamp that squad. KDB, as I said, massively overrated. Deals with a lot of injuries nowadays. His contract runs out at the end of next season as well. So they got to move on from him. Or is he going to sign a new deal? We know that he's been flirting with the Saudi League. This guy was talking about at his age, he has to consider all the options. And I don't blame him. Go to Saudi. Go get your money. You've already completed everything that there is to do at a club level. And if I was Man City, I'd be looking to cash in on him right now. And you go get Jamal Musiala. Or you even try and go get a Florian Wirtz. One of those two players. I think Musiala is going straight to the top. He is a generational player. I'm telling you, whenever I watch this guy, I'm amazed every single time. Whether it's for club or for country. We saw how he cooked in the Euros. This guy is fantastic on the ball. He's very creative as well. Technical, can link play, can create chances, can score chances as well. Pro, when it comes to being a 10 and attacking midfielder, there's not many, if any, that I would put over Musiala. If City are able to get this deal done, the pull would be insane because it's not going to be an easy deal. Bayern Munich are an elite club. City are becoming a very big club, right? When you got two big clubs who are usually used to doing the bullying, butting heads, can make things real difficult. But the same energy that I have for Barcelona when I talk about Lamine Yamal is the same energy that I'm going to have for Bayern Munich when I talk about Jamal Musiala. You cannot sell him. You guys know in FIFA, when there's a transfer, bid that comes in for one of your best players, and you don't want to sell your best player. You don't even want to see any bids for it. You just block all transfers. That's what I would do. And I said it when I was doing my stream earlier. I was like, if I was Bayern Munich, I would kidnap Jamal Musiala's mother and his grandmother, and I would tell him, if you want to see them again, bro, you better sign I'd give him a Chelsea deal. You signing a 10-year death row contract, brother. You are going nowhere because he's just that good. But at the end of the day, I don't see him leaving Bayern. I think if he does, that would be very surprising. I just think Bayern, they're a club that has ambition, and I get it. They didn't win anything last season. But I think this season, they're going to get right back on track, and I think that he will sign a new deal, right? I mean, they're going to go crazy, bro. I honestly do believe in this Bayern Munich side. I think Vincent Kompany is going to have them playing some good football as well, and I think Jamal Musiala is going to be the face of that club. To me, he is the face of German football at the moment, and you're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world in the country that you represent. I mean, it kind of does seem like a dream come true, but as I said, there's about 2 teams in the world that I think could really take a player off of Bayern: Real Madrid and Man City. So I'm not going to discount it. I'm just giving you my opinion. As I said, I think if you are thinking Man City cannot attract Jamal Musiala, you are very mistaken. Because they have the team, they have the manager, they have the infrastructure, they have the money to get a deal like this done. And Bayern Munich need to get him to extend his deal as soon as possible. It only expires in 2026. 2 years left. Telling you, bro, I don't know what the hell's going on at Bayern with these contracts, but they got to get this shit together because they're actually fumbling the bag right here. They're going to miss out on a lot of money by having to sell these players with only 12 months left on their deal. And, I mean, you already see what's going on with Alphonso Davies and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I mean, imagine trying to get Jamal Musiala off of them. Might start World War III, to be honest. But, yo, what do you guys think about Musiala possibly going to Man City as a Kevin De Bruyne replacement? Do you like it or do you not? I think automatic upgrade. He's better than KDB right now. It's just facts.